Oh my, it's KAZAHNI! This is a holy grail set, man. And it's a really important character too. Today I'm going to share my thoughts on this wonderful set and highlight some of the ways that you could use the pieces that come in this set to build your own LEGO creations. Then we'll finish off the video with some insanely good revamps of KAZAHNI. Let's do it. It's kind of insane that this set exists, a beautiful limited edition set that has so many exclusive pieces and so many awesome characters. I mean, KAZAHNI himself. It's great that they brought this story character to life. Yeah, we've seen him appear in comics and books, all sorts of stuff. And the fact that his canon appearance looks nothing like this official set is kind of funny. Now, of course, the reason that he looks different is because he was mutated by the pit mutagen, so he looks a little funky because he's underwater. Now, I kind of like that he looks different. Sure, he looks great in the official comic artwork, but dude, a giant praying mantis style character that towers over and terrorizes Matoran. That's a brilliant concept. The idea reminds me of the early days of Bionicle, where some of the most powerful villains were literally just giant crabs, or you had Toa fighting gigantic dragonflies. It all felt so creative and so unique. Now sure, KAZAHNI isn't actually a big praying mantis, he just kinda looks like one. Or maybe it's a sort of shrimp or something. But I'm glad they made him look this way. It just feels so original, and I love that. Plus things like the marbled armor on his chest and his shoulders, the little posable pincers on his belly, this brilliant claw design. This is a sensational toy. And there's more. Two incredible little Matoran. You know, this Mari Matoran frame is just one of the best. Brilliant posability, it's easy to customize. We had two other sets that looked a lot like these guys. They had that same frame, different colors, and a different mask. And yet, these were some of my favorite Matoran. So it's lovely to get a few more. It's also lovely that we get a recolored Wenua mask in dark blue. It's a shame that we didn't get a recolored mask here, but they still look cool. And finally, you get this thing. As a kid, I had no idea what this was, but it's meant to be some kind of trap. The edges here, they bend and snap together. They open, they close. The idea is that the Matoran use this to imprison and defeat KAZAHNI. And I love that idea. It's a real David and Goliath kind of storyline. Two tiny dudes up against impossible odds, they manage to defeat the huge, powerful enemy. That's so cool. Hours of play can be had with this one epic set. It's a shame, however, that it's literally one of the most expensive Bionicle sets of all time. It's about 500 Australian dollars for a used one. That's roughly about 340 USD. And a new sealed in box version of this set, that's about 2,000 Aussie dollar dues, which is like 1,400 USD. It's utterly insane the value of this toy. Still, the pieces that come in this set are sensational. Let's see how you could use them to build your own LEGO creations. KAZAHNI's incredible head design is made up of these two dark green Prydac foot pieces. These are the same pieces that can be seen on the feet of this set right here. I mean, that's such a clever part use, isn't it? But there's other ways that they can be used. Mitch Builds has built KAZAHNI's brother, Ataka, and see how the lower arms and the lower legs, they're both using this piece. Yeah, it creates such an elegant and incredible design. Yeah, the long curved lines of this piece, it makes the character feel ancient, regal, and almost godlike. It's sick. Otherwise, a builder called Forge of Ataka has built their own version of KAZAHNI. And we can see that they've flipped the head around. Yeah, this is a really cool, long, spiky nose. Makes him look like a bit of a dinosaur or something like that. KAZAHNI's knee design, I think it's sensational. It's using two dark green Vakama Hordika masks. This is the only way to get this mask in this color. Now, how could you use this piece in other MOCs? Shadow Gear 6335 uses these masks for a fancy helmet. The way that this piece flows into the translucent visor and then neatly caps off the top of the head, it's sick. Eclipse Caller has a MOC that uses these for an upper leg design. Now, KAZAHNI kinda uses them in the same way, but I would say these are more like knees. Plus, this is a much larger leg design on a much larger character. So knowing that this piece is gonna look good on a smaller Toa-sized build, that's nice to know. And finally, do what Bionicle has done here. I mean, this piece is a mask, you might as well use it as one. And the little paint job he's given it here, that's a nice touch. I'm a big fan of these marbled torso armor pieces. Why not use them in the same way that PGK Core Official has done? The color scheme and all of these different pieces, they really fit the look of a character that has plant-based powers. Merging this piece with all sorts of other vines and jungle-themed parts, you end up with a wonderful aesthetic. If you're building a tower of jungle or of plant life, maybe you should invest in some of these parts. They look so good. Now, I mentioned KAZAHNI's hand design before. It's using the headpiece from the Baraki known as Elik, but instead of putting some of those Baraki eyes in the eye sockets, they're being stuffed with these dark green claws. Really, it's a wonderful idea. Sadly, these spikes like to move around a little bit and sometimes they fall out. It's not the sturdiest connection. So instead, why not use these pieces as shoulder armor, much like Forge of Ataka has done. I like that this could just be some kind of fancy armor. Or perhaps, he's killed some creatures and wears their skeletal heads as armor. That's hardcore. And finally, KAZAHNI comes with a black cape piece. Shadow Gear 6335 uses this cloth on his older self-mock, Shadow. Given that this character is meant to be like a ghost or a character that has power over shadows, this cape is kind of the perfect addition. It could be an actual cloth cape, which works and looks cool, or perhaps they have shadow constantly billowing out of their back as a result of their darkness-based powers. That is a cool image. Capes always make a mock look way cooler, whether you wear them on your back or around your waist, like this later version is doing here. And that's how you can use the pieces that come in this wonderful set. Now let's check out a few revamps of KAZAHNI. Daniel Brickson has an awesome revamp, and it appears to be using no pieces from the original set. Hey, if you don't want to pay the outrageous aftermarket price for this set, go ahead and make your own using other pieces. You'll still end up with something awesome. I really like this new head design. It looks less aquatic and more like a dinosaur. And dude, a dinosaur KAZAHNI? I freaking love that. What a great concept, although honestly you could turn any Bionicle character into a dinosaur and I'd be pretty happy. Yeah, what a great idea. This chain design is also pretty cool. Making circular links using these Exoforce robot arm pieces, just 4 of them together, and then it allows you to create something pretty cool. Oh, and this mess of silver pieces all along the torso, that's a fun way of advancing upon the original design. So good. Although this one's pretty good too. Choy Kong 96 has built KAZAHNI using a lot of different system pieces. And man, they did an incredible job. Look at this devilish face, using tan gears for giant teeth, then giving him a huge red tongue, and check out these devil horns. This is wild. I really enjoy these seaweed pieces on the torso. That's a nice way of tying things back to the original underwater context of this set. And also the scale of this is so impressive. There's something so pleasing about seeing a massive Bionicle mock, isn't there? Now looking at the back, it does appear that they need a stand to hold themselves up. Sure, it would have been cool if it didn't need that, but you barely notice it. And sometimes, everything needs a little bit of support. Nothing wrong with that. Man, this is so cool. There you go guys, that's the wonderful set, KAZAHNI. If you enjoyed the mocks that you saw in today's episode, be sure to take a look at the description below, and you can find their social media right there. Go and check out their stuff. Thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now.